Video is on how to create a graph using our table. So if we look on the top left corner, we have our first pair, -5, 0. We can actually even write that as a coordinate pair, -5, 0. So on our graph, we're going to start at -5, and it goes up 0. So actually our first point is just -5, 0. Our next point is -4, 5. So we're going to go over to -4 and go up to 5. Our next point is -3, 8. So we're going to start at -3 and go up to 8. Then we have -2, 9. -1, 8. 0, 5. 1, 0. And 2, -7. I'm going to draw through these lines. See, we get this nice parabola shape when we connect these lines, which I'm doing a bad job of right now. So this is our parabola. Yay! So our last step is we want to label the important parts in both our table and also on our graph. So let's start with our x-intercepts in green. So we're looking at the bottom right corner for the word x-intercepts. Now we're going to look at our graph. In green, our x-intercepts are where our graph crosses the x-axis. So that's at -5, 0, and 1, 0. So we'll fill that in to our table. Our bottom right corner information area. And then we can see this on our table as well. So let's go to our table now. -5, 0, and 1, 0. These are our x-intercepts. Notice that our x-intercepts happen when f of x is 0. And this is always true. Our f of x needs to be 0 so that they're on the x-axis. We're going to do our y-intercept in red. That's where our parabola crosses our y-axis. And that happens at 0, 5. So on the bottom right, I'm going to write 0, 5. And if we go to our table, 0, 5. y-intercept happens when x equals 0. So when our x equals 0, we can find our y-intercept. And when our f of x is 0, we can find our x-intercept. Next, in purple, we're going to find our line of symmetry. This is going to be right down the center of our parabola. It crosses the x-axis at x equals -2. So our line of symmetry is at x equals -2. If we look in our table, x equals -2 is in the middle. I'm going to draw a line that goes through this part of our table. Line of symmetry. Notice, above our line of symmetry, we have an 8. And right below that, we have another 8. If you go 2 above, we have a 5. If you go 2 below, we also have a 5. If you go 3 above, we have a 0. If you go 3 below, you also have a 0. So if you notice, there's some symmetry that's happening along this line of symmetry, just like in our graph. In our graph, our vertex is at the very top of our graph. That makes our vertex also a maximum point at -2, 9. So on the bottom right, for vertex, we're going to write -2, 9, and that point is a maximum. In our table on the left, you'll notice the vertex is the same spot as the line of symmetry, because the line of symmetry crosses through the vertex. You can also see that the number 9 is the biggest output number of all the outputs. That is why our vertex is a maximum. And that's how you find the graph and all the important pieces of information. Your assignment is to take your function at the top middle of your screen. You need to create a table. You need to create a graph. And then you need to label in the bottom right all of this important pieces of information in your graph and also in your table, just like we did in our notes. Once you finish, you can submit it. If you have any questions, please reach out in our discussion, or you can email me directly if you like to. Thanks so much. Have a great day.